Welcome everybody to TopazMoon Designs. My name is Carol and I make jewellery amongst other things, just simple beaded jewellery, things like necklaces, bracelets and earrings. So I haven't made a video in a long time. I'm not very good at making videos. I have trouble with filming and talking and making at the same time, but I'll have a go. Recently I accepted an order for a custom design, and it was the first time I've made anything in a long time, like months, and it inspired me to keep going. And so I've been digging around my supplies box. I found this nice little sterling silver clasp set with a peridot coloured glass stone. And this is a gold plated clasp, sterling silver, set with a little moonstone. And I can make a gold version and a silver version, and I found these beautiful handmade lampwork beads in the same color as the clasp. Well, pretty close. Now, a person that I used to consider a friend made these, so I haven't spoken to her in a long time because she's a stuck-up bitch. So there you go. Anywho, moving right along, I've got this bead design board which helps you to visualize the placement of your beads and the length of your necklace. And I've decided to incorporate glass beads with pearls using this clasp. I'm just going to check the camera. It seems to be okay. Time will tell. Anyway, I'll try not to obscure, but the first step is to release the pearls from their string. I recently bought these from a company called Firestone Gems, and they're USA based. Excuse me. Between them and a different company called Shipwreck Beads, it's where I buy the majority of my supplies from. So a quick side story is when I received a custom order for a necklace to match a particular bracelet the gentleman had to give to his wife for her birthday or as a present, whatever. So I checked my pearl supplies, and to my horror, I just did not have enough. And I was frank with him. I said, I have to order these from the internet. And he said, oh, do you think you'll have it made by the 28th? And knowing the way the internet works, I said, absolutely not. But I went to Paddy's Markets in Sydney. It's not like a flea market, it's like an everything market. It also has fruit and veggies and stuff like that. It's mainly souvenir and stuff, but there were a couple of vendors who I used to go to for pearl emergencies, and they're no longer there. So the whole site is being redeveloped as a foodie destination, and very few of the vendors, the original vendors, are there. Anyway, I ended up buying the pearls that I needed off the internet, and they came in a timely fashion. So the gentleman who bought it from me, I said I would charge him 30. He gave me 40 because I sent him progress photos of when I was making it, and he really liked that. So he thought that was an extra $10 worth. Happy customer. So it inspired me. Now I'm just spacing out the beads and pearls, and this next I decided to use little sterling silver spacer beads in between, but they're very tiny, so I can't start with them because I need a bead that's got a hole big enough to pass the necklace wire through twice, and I will show you why. Now, I have made a video previously about how to make a simple necklace, and this is following the exact same principle. I didn't film the one that I made for the custom order because it was a 3-stranded tiny hole, tiny holes, and I was really struggling to see the hole, and it would have been a very boring, tedious video. And it was 3 strands too, so I decided not to press on with that. I did start, but then I just stopped because it was futile. Anyway, this is how I've got it all set out. I've got a center bead here, 2 pearls on either side, and then I've got glass bead, 4 pearls, etc. in various sizes. They're sort of the smaller ones. They're roughly the same size, the glass beads, but there are some variances because they're a handmade product. So I will commence. I've picked out 2 little sterling silver beads to protect my crimp and not have so much pressure on the necklaces, on the necklace wire, I beg your pardon. So here we go. I've got to be careful not to obscure with my left hand the field of vision to the camera. So this is how I always start a necklace, with the clasp, and you double the wire through, and I'm going to select my silver bead, and then I will have a pearl. I'm going to turn this bead board around so that I don't get confused. I'm starting at this end. Actually, I won't. I'll start at the left because that makes more sense. Now, hopefully, the hole of the pearl is large enough to fit the necklace wire twice, doubled through, and it does appear to be fine. Silver bead. There's my pearl. And now I'm going to crimp off this end. This is a little crimp bead that you squash, and it holds everything in place. So I don't want it too tight. I want some movement for the necklace. Whoopsie. Now I've just flattened that crimp bead, and it seems to be holding everything in place nicely. So for now I'm going to continue with the course of 4 pearls and the glass bead before I start incorporating the little sterling silver tiny beads, because their holes are so small. So I may even have to pause this video, because working with such tiny beads and my eyesight not being the best, it's going to be time consuming and boring unless I talk about other things while I do it. And by other things, let me take a sip of water. By other things, I mean my observations of certain things that I have witnessed on YouTube lately. and certain behaviours which have been exposed, and I believe more to come. Now, I am a maker of jewellery and a seller of vintage homewares. So I've been doing it a while. I've been doing it a long time, and I have a certain amount of knowledge. I'm not an expert, not by any means, and I don't call myself an expert, but I do have knowledge, which I'm happy to share. I'm not a fig jam. Fuck, I'm good, just ask me. I'm going to shout out to some of my American friends that I met on a Redditor board. A shout out to you, Cindy, and your mum, Joan, in New Jersey, USA, and all the lovely people I have met on the Redditor board. I'm not going to mention its name. Not that I have that many subscribers who would know what I'm talking about or anything like that, but anyway, so I'm starting with the glass. Just to see what it looks like. Here we go. I'm not sure about this, whether I like it or not, because the pearls are top drilled, so they hang a bit differently, but I'm going to persevere. I'm not sure about these either. I think they're too small. I think they are too small. They're going to do my head in. So I'm just going to leave it like this and see how it looks, because I can always undo it and remake it. So I'll keep talking. So back to what I was talking about. A couple of months ago, it came to the attention of certain Redditors on the board that I joined and have discussions in, that during a live unboxing of some jewelry purchased from a Las Vegas reseller, a vintage ceramic bead necklace with a 10-carat gold clasp was revealed to be not as represented in the live jewelry sale, during which it was purchased by a lovely lady in Montana who was quite innocently doing an unboxing, opened up the parcel and thought to herself, this doesn't look right. The clasp is certainly not gold. Anyway, it proved to be gold plated, and the seller then went on to attack this lady's YouTube channel in various nefarious ways, because people had pointed out that the person who had sold her the necklace was in fact a known scammer. So this known scammer went on to the comments and threatened and bullied. And the poor woman who bought them, the beads, because that's what I'm calling them, she paid something like $70 for them, and at best they were, $10 or $12 worth of quite nice vintage beads, but misrepresentation and innocently unboxing. Anyway, she was so badly bullied that she removed her YouTube channel because the seller was threatening her because some of the comments were calling her out as a fraud. Well, she is a fraud. The story gets worse. The lady who bought the beads ended up getting a refund, but she had some suspicious activity on her eBay shop, and she had 7 items purchased, and they were all rejected as, or package was empty, or the goods were damaged or whatever, and it turned out to be an absolute revenge attack. So she had to go through eBay channels to get it sorted. Petty revenge. I don't have many people who watch me. I have 12 subscribers. The woman, the flim flam woman from Las Vegas, is aiming to get to 100 subscribers, but we feel that she's buying them. Anyway, so the story goes, a friend of the nice lady in Montana joined the Redditors board and told us what had happened. We were appalled, of course. So anyway, it turns out that this person from Las Vegas, she's really an appalling woman, but very entertaining. You should see some of the shit she buys. Broken chipped tchotchkes, that's what we call them. And 4. Anyhow, moving right along. This necklace is nearly finished. So she actually accused another reseller of stealing from her, and she did this live just last week during a live sale with her new friend. A new friend she's yet to screw over, but you know, we all know how that goes. Enough about her, I guess. It's a little bit boring watching me string beads, but I thought I would talk to my Redditor friends because, well, why not? Another thing worthy of mentioning here is that I'm in Sydney. They're all in the US, except for one lady, Jeff's woman, hello, who is a fellow Australian. Now, I don't proclaim myself to be a YouTuber. I make the odd YouTube videos. It's a nice way of chatting to your friends who don't live near you and showing you how I make my jewellery. Spectacular. I know, riveting. I'm going to turn this board around now and hope that I haven't been obscuring. I'm going to check. Okay, if I leave my hands here, it should be okay. I won't know until I play it back in its entirety, whether it's obscured, watchable, boring, all of the above. And pardon my dusty bead board, I'm sure there's the odd cat hair in here as well. Speaking of cleaning your shit, that reseller that we're talking about in Las Vegas, oh gee, she's a grubby operator. That's the best word, grubby, for her. She's grubby. She's got this bookcase that she does her live sales. The bookcase is behind her and she stands in front of it. It's absolutely crammed with all the shit that she's selling. And she's been using this, I'm going to snip the end here, it's getting a bit frayed. She's been using this backdrop for her live sales and videos, video chats, and it's dirty. It's got all these dirty streaks down. I'm not sure whether it just needs painting or I don't know. I'm not saying my stuff is the cleanest in the world, but it's fairly presentable. So this woman has farmed out all her chores, all her tasks, all her reselling to either paid employees or to her children. She's the laziest person I've ever encountered She even hired a friend to answer her emails and then had a falling out with that friend, as she falls out with all her friends. That's how I found that Redditor board. I used to watch her videos during lockdown, and then I stopped watching because she was very annoying. I don't know, leave me a comment. And that was getting boring and repetitive. Months went by, and she popped up on my feed again, and I realized that all her old friends had gone. And she had new friends who, unsurprisingly, are no longer her friends. She did them dirty. She done them dirty, like so many others. And she has this group of grannies in her comments. Oh, I've been banned from her comment section on her YouTube videos, and I've been banned from her live chats too, unsurprisingly. Now, I've got to be careful here. I've got to go pearl, 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 crimp, pearl. All right, pearl. Because she deletes every comment that isn't gushing and, you know, telling her how beautiful she is and how inspirational she is and how much I've learned. I've learned so much from you. It's bullshit. She's the worst reseller. She has a death pile. We all have the odd death pile, but we don't really need storage units to store them in. She does. Okay, so crimp is next. Crimp and pearl. And then silver bead. I won't need such a big tail. I will snip it off. And then the other side of his clasp. Actually looks very nice. Sort of a choker style. It's too small. It's really too small. Damn. Oh well, maybe I'll just keep talking. So what I could do is, from here, increase the pearl count. I'm just pulling the wire through and trying to leave things intact. Well, that was unfortunate. But that's okay, it's not a disaster. It's a mini disaster. A disasterette, if you will. It's gone on too long. 24 minutes is too long. I'll see if I can continue and get someone to help me edit this and string it together.